Don't you cry no more.
Good evening. I am going to talk to you tonight about relationships, because no one has ever done that before. And I am a trailblazer. I'm an innovator. I take pride in that. There we go. I've recently gotten through a relatively painful breakup, and I'm not soliciting pity sex. But if I were, you could find me after the show, probably meandering around here. With hope in my eyes. I got this interesting advice from a lot of people right after it happened. People would come up to me and they'd say, you know what, get over it, like you're young, have fun, play the field. There's more, but I know I haven't had an overly large sampling of the population, but to the best of my knowledge, aren't all vaginas functionally quite similar? I don't think there's a great, variety to be had. As far as I'm concerned, unless you're trying to test this hypothesis, I don't really see the point in going out and sleeping with a lot of people. Why not actually spend the time to form a meaningful relationship with another human being? Is that too much? And it's not that I don't get casual sex. I get it. You're busy people. You've got schedules. You've got to do a thing for a thing, and a relationship. No, I can't. I've got something on Thursday. But when you're in a struggling relationship, it's really difficult. Because when you love somebody, that person has immense control over you. Because you care about them, and you want to be with them, and you want things to work. And you find yourself, usually a normal, a rational, an upstanding, a sensible human being, just saying the strangest things that you wouldn't have predicted, I am so sorry. I'm so sorry. I apologize. I am sorry that I said you could not run a cheese grater across my testicles. I was being overly possessive. From now on, they will be our testicles. I understand that you need to have your space. Okay, so what you want, more than anything, what you want is for that person, that one person that you love, to come back to bed and lie down next to you so that you can go on being miserable together like normal people. And it's hard, when things are getting bad, you sort of start to see this queue forming behind you. And you have to meet these people that have sort of ambiguous histories, oh, where did you meet? Oh, hi, And then you meet these guys, Paul, fuck Paul. Paul, oh, he's so nice. Paul's just my friend, I just really like Paul. Paul wants nothing more than to be running down your leg. It's so awkward, and then you have to meet these guys, and you have to pretend like you're having a good time, and it's oh yes, you're implying sexual things about the person that I love. Oh, now you're groping for her bodily. Clever. Let me, wait a moment, I believe I left my bunch of knives in the other room. The other thing is, once you're in that situation, you have this really strange thing that I never really felt before. It's this really desperate impulse that, because you have no idea what's going on. Let's face it, you're in the dark, right? And so every person that you meet, you get into the situation when it's just you, what is happening? Please tell me. Do you know? Yes? No? Okay, wait, just a second. You, what the hell is going on? What can I know? Yes? No? Fuck. Okay, fine. What? No. It's fuck. Okay. And then eventually, that goes on for a while, and then eventually it breaks down. And, my friends keep asking me, were there signs? Did you see it coming? And I guess, looking back retrospectively, there were signs. For example, she gave me Catch-22 for Christmas. But it's okay, because I gave her The Old Man in the Sea. There you are. These two intelligent people. You're smart, you're sophisticated, you're cultured, you can talk about art, you can talk about music. You've read Shakespeare, you can quote him, you've been to London, you have these interesting conversations, you like to take cappuccino when you read the New York Times, whatever the fuck you do. Well, there you are, and you're sitting on the bed with this growing chasm between you as an awkward silence fills the room, broken only by incomprehensible mutterings and awkward sobs. And you're clutching a blanket to your chest for support. And do you remember that time that you were in the cafe and the elegant blonde sitting by the window with her legs gently crossed, reading, looked up, and you made eye contact, and you walked over to her, and you said something witty, and with that single remark, you secured a place in her phone book as well as in her schedule. Those days are gone. You are not that man anymore. You are a huddling, crying mess, hunched over, half naked, tears streaming down your contorted face, sobbing into your penis. You look in your hand, and not your hand, I look in my hand because I'm a bad comedian. You look into your soul for something, just anything that will make them stay. Those just, what can you do? And so you look up, and from this anguished position, you look at the person and you say, I love you. As though they don't already know that. Like, that's mainly the problem. If that weren't the case, this would all be easy. And so, you know, once you go through that, it's excruciating. They leave and the room feels just empty, and it feels like your soul has been ripped out of your back. And you know those things that accountants keep on their desk to press invoices onto? It feels like that. And you wake up the next morning. The rest of you guys need to talk to more accountants. You're my man. You wake up the next morning after this has happened, and the first thing that goes through your mind is just, fuck, I'm alive. Fuck. And it's excruciating. And when you go through something like that, I mean, it has an effect, and it's hard later. You know, you go through this 2-week period afterwards when you're only capable of lying. Your friend's like, hey, how you doing? I'm good! I'm good, how are you? I'm great. I'm thinking of having sex with a woman. I've moved on, I don't care. No, fine. Who? No, I don't know. No. Not in the slightest. Oh, I do remember. Yeah, no, I remember. Yeah, no, I don't. I'm fucking good. I'm very good. I'm fabulous. And then you go through this like weird process of giving yourself mindless tasks that you don't need to do, like, today I will buy cereal. That is what I will do, because you now have all this free time because your schedule was previously centered around somebody who's not there. It's just really awkward. And when you go through all of that, it's hard, you know, to remember the times when you were together and you were alone and you had your face pressed against your partner's naked breast and you could hear their heart beating and you had that fearful knowledge that everything that meant so much to you depended on the continual beating of that small organ. Because now whenever you see them, all you want to say is, you. Sometimes I think of all the people in the world who've never met you. I wonder what it must be like to be them. Let's see here. What else is happening? Something's happening. I'm a shitty comic. The other thing, this was kind of a strange experience. What happened for me? We went through this whole process, and it was like done. And then we were like, wait. And then break happened. So break started during that like wait period. And so we were gonna like make things work, and then things didn't work. But it's like the whole time I'd sort of been like waiting to come back and to be with that person. But instead, I came back, and nobody was on campus yet. It was a little early. And I went to my dorm room. It was just this like quiet emptiness, and you're alone by yourself. And instead of being with that person who I'd planned on being with, I just had to throw away my toothbrush. And the song kept going through my head. It's a John Legend song, and it's like, I've heard like everybody knows that nobody really knows how to make it work or how to ease the hurt. I've heard it all before. I still can't believe you found somebody new, but I wish you the best, I guess. But then I thought, wait a minute. John Legend wasn't good enough for somebody. Who the fuck turns down 5-time Grammy Award-winning My Lips Are Sex John Legend? I don't know, like he's really sensitive and really talented and really intelligent, and I just think I can do better. Fucking people make bad decisions. That's what that comes down to. Anyways, and so why do we do this? Why do we put ourselves through this? Why do we go out and get hurt over and over and over again and subject ourselves to this torture? And I think it's because deep down inside, we all live with the unspeakable knowledge that if we didn't, life would be boring. But as it is, it's excruciating. And that fills time. Anyways, that's been me. Thank you. Good night.